Alright, just wanted to catch y'all up. My incredibly messy counter here. I'm still closing down from my live, but for those of you who are actually curious about it, this motorcycle lock came in right before my live started today as a Kawasaki motorcycle lock ignition. We do a lot of motorcycle work, and then during the live I popped this off. Sometimes, not on Kawasaki, but sometimes you can find codes. I even popped this part off right here to try to locate a code. This is just a little plastic cover shield. It doesn't really do anything. I guess maybe keeps dirt out of certain areas, but once you pop that off, we can see on this particular Kawasaki, some of them you can easily get apart and some of them you can't. So these looks like Honda almost, where you have to drill down beside it and pry it up. And pretty involved to get into this one. Sometimes these are held in with 2 screws, but this is actually a little bit of an oddball bike. Normally, most of the common ones use this KW15. However, this one didn't. This one used KW16. And it's just slightly different. It actually looks pretty much the same, but slightly different. And so yes, basically I was able to pick it a few times, and I was attempting to sight read it. So if it's not really that bad, I guess I could use this. Ooh, look at that, Peterson. Not that bad usually. The first few times that I picked it, it picked pretty quick. It was not difficult at all. Sometimes these can actually be a little bit difficult to pick, and the only reason I do that is to sight read it, which is your next valid. You can either impression, you can tear down, you can sight read, or you can, what did I say, tear down, sight read, or impression. So I kind of did all 3 of them. And why I stopped sight reading it was because after I picked it a couple of times, it did this, and I was not able to again get it to turn easily and quickly. So then I switched over to impressioning, and what I did there was, we see on this side, I filed a 90 degree, and I actually did this on both keys. It took 2 tries to do. We see the 90 degree. And in this particular one, he brought it in. It was in the off position, and the wafers are on top up here. So when you're turning it, it depends on which side you're V'ing. So I V'd this side so that it was flat on this side. As I was turning it this way, it would press in on the angle on this side and not this side. If I would have ground the V on this other side, it would not really have marked as great as it does with the 90 degree on the side in the direction you're turning. So again, if I would have been turning the plug to the left, like if I wanted to push in and turn, which it's harder to do, so I don't usually impression it that way. But you turn it, turn. I got a few marks on the first key, and then this was the first one I did. This first cut right here was me trying to sight read it. I tried, looks like 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, 2 is what I sight read it as. However, I could not see past whatever this cut was, so I would have had to have guessed anyway on the tip. So then I came along and did the second one. This was the second attempt. And I got my 2 surefire marks here, which I knew this was either 1 and 2 or 2 and 3. And then I was getting some marks on the end, but I still wasn't getting anything in the middle there. And after some trial and error on that one, I actually only, and you can see, you're like, hey, wait, you did a really good job impressioning that. I actually machined impression that. So when I got a mark there, I'd put it in my 1200 and cut it down to the exact depth. So it was kind of a cross between sight reading again, because I knew these two were 2 and 3. I was thinking it was 2 and 3. It ended up being 2, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3. So I was definitely off on a couple of them. It's kind of common when you run across these. It always takes a little bit of wear on motorcycle keys to get it to smooth out. Motorcycles are very finicky. And this one, as I talked about in the live, actually had quite a bit of like goop and stuff in there. So I've already lubricated with, I started off by using the electronic cleaner to get all the goopy stuff out, but there we go, a combination of all three. Well, not all three, because I didn't want to tear it down. But sight reading is good, except when you have these long keys and then you get a deep cut. It's hard to see behind it. It's hard to see the spacing. So it's a good little skill, a skill to be able to utilize. Obviously, with wafer locks and stuff, it's much easier. And when you get into trying to do that, when you have this dust cover in the way and you're having to hold it back, you have dirt in there. The front of the plug, sometimes on the inside where the shoulder stop is in the plug, sometimes that throws you off as to being an actual wafer when it's just the shoulder stop. And then the wafers start right there by it. So that the spacing kind of throws you off when you look down in there. And yeah, that's it. So appreciate you guys watching. We did not have to tear this down. I am thinking about getting adding this, because I've had to do these more than once, and this particular bike is a more popular model, so I might add. I've got 4 or 5 of these AccuReaders. I just didn't have one with the 16P keyway, and obviously they're specific to their keys, so I might have to order one AccuReader for that. So anyway, that's how you do that. Just kind of got lucky with impressioning and sight reading put together. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions or comments, as always, leave them in the comment section. I gotta clean this up. Hey y'all, thanks for watching. Make sure and hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Also, there's a link up here in the top corner to subscribe to the channel. If you have not done so, make sure and hit that bell notification so you know instantly when we upload the newest content. Thanks again for being here. We really appreciate all y'all who watch our videos. So make sure and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we will catch you next video.